Hello. How are you guys? Hello, hello. Is my face very bright? Questions we'll never have the answer for. Back pain gang. 9 minutes early. I know, it's crazy. I'm not dead, hello. I've been reprioritizing a few things in life. But every now and then I think of you guys and how lucky I am to have a small but very kind and considerate community. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to give back or just chat a little bit today. Good old Hyperlight Drifter. I'll never get tired of this game. Hey Basti, doing really good tonight. My table has been really annoying. I don't want to set up the camera for you to see, but it has 2 layers. And the bottom layer is for the piano. And the past few months I've realized how not ergonomic this setup is. Like you need to have your hands like relatively right above your knees for a healthy setting. And so I didn't want to, because I've paid 800 euros for that table with this piano setup. I didn't want to give in to the idea that it might not be so good for me. But yeah, I finally did that, and that means I'm going to try and get my money back, because they advertised it very much with being ergonomic and like very, very good for music production, but also it has a resonant frequency, which is very annoying. So in multiple ways, this table is not the way it's supposed to be. And that was like a small burden that I carried every day. And yeah, I emailed them. Let's see what happens. Laser Blue, what's up? What do you guys think of Hyperlight Drifter? You guys need to play the game if you haven't. It's a one-of-a-kind art style and soundtrack. Gosh, I love it so much. What did the OST make you realize? What are you saying? Also, how are you guys? Feel free to share some life facts. It's been some time. Would love to hear what's up for you. Yeah, I'm trying to move still, or again, into Cologne. That's up next. And yeah, I'm in album writing mode. I don't know if you guys know. I don't want to draw too much attention towards it because it's still very early, even though it's been half a year since I started. Yeah, I think it's normal to have lots of games on your wish lists. I always go with the approach to I'm gonna play the games that I have, and once I realize I want to play something but I'm over those games, either because I finished them or just because it's been too much other stuff happening and I'm longing for something new, then I wait for a sale to happen and just pick randomly one of those games that are in sale. And the bigger the wish list is, the more often this happens. So they're really good for that, I guess. Yeah, how do you guys deal with that? Do you just buy games and then let them wait on the shelf for months until you get to them? Or also, I remember there was a friend of mine who actually paid the full price for the games. So he waited till the sale was over. So the developers would get a little more. I found that quite interesting. And it would make more sense to go the extra mile to actually pay the developers directly. Oh my god, the Furry Musicians Discord. That's so nice. Yeah, I've been active there like 10 years ago. And honestly, I'm just... the past years, I've only just posted there for self-promotion. Which I feel like most people are probably doing on Discord nowadays. On music Discords, that is. But yeah, that was a cool community. How is it there? Do people post on Fur Affinity or what was it? Yeah. I still identify as part of the fandom, by the way, if that is of interest. So I'm not just posting there for clout, but also because I feel a tiny bit connected still. I never buy things I wouldn't have time to consume. That's very fair and a very good way to handle this. Oh, the organicness. Yeah, I mean, less than $10 then. It is kind of crazy, right? How cheap games are. Like, how has that become the norm? Like, some games cost less than a meal. A meal is like 15 minutes of enjoyment, and I mean, it fills you. It gets rid of your hunger, of your basic need. But you know, you could eat something cheaper than two cheap meals versus one expensive meal, and that goes for the same price as a game that at least 1 or 2 hours is like the basis of every game, and then small games are like 10 hours of enjoyment, and optimally. I mean, a lot of big titles are stretched out, so they have more hours on the, what is it called? On the per protocol in the statistics, even though it might not be the players having their best time. Also, guys, let me know how the audio is. I think this soundtrack is a bit quieter than what we're going to listen to, but absolutely feedback me here, because again, it's been a long time, and I hope this setup is still all right. Also nice to see you in chat, Celine. Yeah, Basti, I'm on that grind as well. I really want to. I still love gaming a lot, but it just feels like wasting time. Like, I could be more productive or social, take care of my body, things like that. Audio is fine. Perfect. Yeah, I haven't thought about this with music so much, because it feels... Why does it feel more normal to me with music? I mean, I'm most familiar with the many hours that go into a track, but I feel like that's kind of the point. You know, you gotta spend the hours to make something good. So you can't really... Isn't that the case with every product? So there needs to be a lot of hours invested. Why does my neck hurt? God damn it. I haven't even started here. Felt. Yeah. Same. I want to do so many things in life, but well, you now are up to date, I hope. The delay should be around 8 seconds, I think. And it is the full hour, so I can now go to Discord and quickly post everybody. Live now. This music is so interesting because I think it doesn't really follow a set time signature. Sometimes there's just breaking up moments like this where the loop starts earlier and then later it takes a few more notes. So it's always very slow and it takes you by surprise. But because of the chill nature, you don't really realize or pay attention to it. And this would be my absolute favorite tune. But I think we're gonna start. Let's not waste too much time. Hello, Mythic Cube. You guys let me know whenever I pronounce your names right or wrong. So what's going to happen now is that I'm going to open the stream feedback channel. I think I'm going to draw a line here so I know when today starts. And then, as of now, you guys can't post there and you won't be able to see other guys' submissions unless you are in the chat. It's kind of meant for privacy purposes. But Discord is a bit weird with that. But if you leave the chat, then you won't be able to see your own submission and the other submissions anymore. So it kind of goes away like that. So please respect the other artists and only check out their songs if they are public and the artists want you to. Is there a time limit for feedback submissions? Stay within the realm of what can be seen as a song. I'm personally not too big of a fan of anything going over 5-6 minutes. But if you have like the biggest piece, then I can also try to feedback that, but maybe skip through it a bit. But yeah, mostly stick to one song. No 15-minute Mozart. Mozart has some pretty epic bangers. There's one that I always forget the title of. I mean, how do you even recognize any titles? But I think it's Piano Prelude in C major. Mozart. I mean, Piano Sonata. Nope. No. Okay. Well, I have it on Spotify. I think the last time I streamed, I also went and checked this song. Wow. Let's not do that then. Yes, you do not have the rights to post in the channel. That is because it is not opened yet. I am going to do that right now. And here we go. And it is the 888 Man coming up first. And of course, because there may or may not be a bit more submissions than we can do today. And if you want to avoid waiting, then you can also just donate and then I'll open the dono feedback channel for you. Otherwise, I'm not going to check that. But yeah, I think I'm going to do it like that. Where's the... It was already open. Never mind then. I am very professional. All right. So we have 888 Man with some dubstep, I think. Let's go like this. Also, hi Hangray. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Ooh, I love the vocals. I need to listen to this with higher volume. Gonna do that on my end. I feel like already in the mix sound it feels a bit weird because it's like very high and focused and wide. So I feel like I'm hearing a lot of mids and higher mids. Bro ignored me. I am heartbroken. Sorry, dude. It's the fate of the chat. And yeah, so you could shift the whole spectrum a bit like this from your perspective. It's also, there's so much stereo happening on this reverb sweep coming in. Maybe that's just me, but the reverb sweep is so much louder than the vocal afterwards. Nice vocals. Need more body though. Yeah, the vocals definitely need to be more upfront. So they're like drowning in the reverb and the echo. I'm gonna quickly check just any song just to make sure my setup is correct, so I'm not giving any false information. Okay, I think everything sounds very white currently. Then that is me. I'm sorry for that. The cable wasn't plugged in perfectly. My bad, my bad. Sorry about that. I'm gonna rewind the tune a third time. But wow, I hear everything very differently now. The cable was like sticking out a bit, so I was hearing most of the sides. Your mixdown might be perfect. I want to check again. Okay, that makes more sense. Sorry, guys. That's not so much better. Wow, your mixdown improved so much. Yeah, trolling cable. I still feel it the same way about the reverb as well. It's louder than the vocals. You see the description, please. But is the vocal high-passed? And Gray, I don't have any commands like that. Nice composition, definitely. That was cool. Oh! Who are you, dude? Oh, damn, that is sick. Wow, starting off strong. Oh, nice. I love how you went from full mono to stereo there. Unplug headphone cable. I'm gonna be worrying about that for the rest of the stream now. There's this weird synth that is like playing off beats every now and then, which is very much more upfront than the vocal is, and I feel like it should definitely be the other way around. Dum, dum, dum. It's a very cool effect though. That part is so nice. Okay, I got lost in the rhythm a bit there. Oh, you're going quarter time. That's why. I was so confused by that snare. Or clap. I have a big compositional suggestion for you then. Because the kicks are all like in the same intensity by their nature, because they're electronic kicks. That also adds to being lost in the beat a little bit. So make sure to count for this last drop. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like it always should be intuitive. And if you have a different target group, like in jazz, it makes sense because they're so very much used to different time signatures and rhythm changes like that. I feel like in electronic music, people just want to dance, and this is very much a dancey tune. So if you can make it easier a tiny bit for them. So if you do like, you could make some kicks in between a little bit, not only quieter, but also add some format shifting on them and shifting them up or down a tiny bit. See what fits to make them sound a little bit weaker. Maybe the kick pattern should be really simple at first. Could be done like that. I feel like the simple drops are the first and the second one, so that's fair. It's nice that you want to experiment a bit here, and I really want to forward the idea of being quarter note. But the downbeat of your quarter note meter should be very much emphasized, in my opinion. So yeah, that makes sense. You have like, so the downbeat kick should be much stronger, in my opinion. And maybe the ones before have the same amount of side chaining, but are like muffled in some way. Yes, I know you meant that, but I feel like it doesn't have to be like simple. It just needs to focus. It doesn't need to do anything, but in my opinion, it could benefit of being a little more focused on the downbeat, and the clap is focused, obviously. So the downbeat, that's what I said. Okay, thank you so much for sending your song. Let's move on with the next one. We got Basti, who's been cooking and releasing and making himself known in the scene. Big ups on him.
I have heard it somewhere before.
Oh, dude.
What is that? I don't understand.
Some freak shifter action here.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, that was really cool, mate.
Like to hear?
Ooh!
What is that?
What is that? Merp.
What is that?
Sometimes you have the most unintentionally goofy parts in your songs. So this is something you do very, very often, and I can't quite grasp, so I'm going to talk about it now. So you split the drops into two halves, and then the second half, I would usually expect some more melodic elements filling the background while you repeat the same thing with the main basses, or you repeat the same rhythmical parts of the basses and switch up the sound of the basses, but it's still staying in that same groove. But something that you often do in your second halves of the drop is completely flip the groove again. And I'm always left a little bit, I just want to continue dancing with maybe even less to focus on, because it's like, I'm just going to continue dancing. I've had my focus parts in the first half, and then the second half, you can bring back some other elements. It doesn't have to be like high focus points. I just read your message, Dami Master. I've listened to those two and I absolutely adore them. So you can see my comment under Roaring. I absolutely love it. We might listen to it a little bit later if we don't have any more songs in the feedback. But yeah, shout out to Ranipla. They're bringing the scene much forward in a quick level. So here I'm listening. So there's too much happening with the basses, so my brain automatically focuses on the background, which is like this. Oh, and now. Yeah, I feel like that's just a slightly worse version of what you had for the first half going. I would just keep that and yeah, again, add some background elements as you started doing, and maybe bring back in something from the intro or what's coming after that.
Let's do it again.
I'm also very happy that your sub isn't so super low on this song, so I can actually hear it on my headphones. Really like the mix down. Hello. Nice, I like the bass line.
Alright, listen to it again and concentrate.
I don't understand.
Oh, let me show you.
What are they saying?
Can you hear this?
Yes, I can.
What would you like to hear?
Beautiful. That's how you do it.
What is that?
I can't tell why, but this what is that? Always comes off a bit goofy to me. It's like standing out in a weird way. I feel like maybe that's because it's like, it sounds like it's in a movie. It sounds like it's in a movie and you got this clean dubstep song around it. So it's like two rooms, two worlds that are kind of not fitting to my ears inherently. Something you could do alternatively is like, and like make the room smaller, make it maybe a bit distorted or like radio-y, and then everything fits that kind of vocal, which can also be a bit radio-y. So it's kind of in the same space, and then you're opening it back up. Maybe it's like a tiny bit of criticism, but also just because of the nature of what she's saying. What is that? It's a little bit goofy. And the reason why I'm criticizing this, if it's not obvious, is because your song is very gnarly and very dark, and I think it's not meant to be goofy, even though in the dubstep culture sometimes those go hand in hand. Damn, I even feel like your second drop is more catchy than the first one. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit simpler. And it has the A-B kind of call and response. Second drop, I definitely prefer that one. It's more predictable. Oh.
What is that?
What is that? That's what I would do. Okay, let's check in with chat a little bit. Yes, I already said I like the songs from René Pla. I might react to it when I'm done with feedback, but that might be very late. So we have only 11 more submissions as of now. I love this vocal sample. Yeah, it's cool. I might submit something. You don't need... You can also watch my reaction later. Just please specify or just tell me if you're in chat. And on the web already, but I changed my submission. I edited the link. Okay. I don't have it on the web. I'm just going link by link. But thanks for the heads up. That's the best thing to do. I don't know. I wouldn't say so. I feel like most people are skipping to the first drop, see if they like it, and then either deciding if they want to listen to the second one or not. So to go along with that, why would you expect to command and lurk? I mean, I may not be familiar with some YouTube culture, but one general criticism I also have with the drop parts is that they're like very not dry in the sense of they don't have much processing, but there's like nearly anything, barely anything going on in the background. There could be some tiny ambiances, just a little bit. I like how it is, but it feels a little bit on the raw side. I'm still in Ableton Live Studio. I'm not hearing a song. That's what it feels like, a tiny bit. Lumi, stop. In the end, it's gonna work, and then yeah. Nice outro. You're not going overboard with the ear candy. It's a perfect outro. Yeah, that's how you do it, man. It's a beautiful song. I really enjoy that one. I really hope maybe you find something. Maybe you can simplify that second half of the first drop. I feel like that would have it benefit a tiny bit. And that's it. We can go on with Celine. I have seen you on a couple servers and for a bunch of times in my chat, and I'm curious what you got. Yes. Thanks for being here, dude. It's nice to see you. Oh, I really enjoyed that part. I'm just gonna call you Amp. You may be earlier on your end, but it was pretty much at the same time on my end. You are right after. Beautiful, beautiful. I have nothing so far. The flute is really nice. What is that? Just gonna keep posting that same question. I'm in awe. I have nothing. That's beautiful. Yeah, and like with way too much reverb on them. Gotta love it. Like in a positive way. My ears are overstimulated. Ooh. Why, Basti? Sorry. Oh. Dude, I love you. What are you doing? That is beautiful. What was that? How he turned it to whip 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 whip, like organically. So much attention to detail in like every second. And your keyboard sounds okay. I know this is like a separate genre of itself, but I always wish there was an artist that had these kinds of things. Like you could make like 5 intros and outros to songs that have vocals and drums. I would love that so much, and like use these kinds of elements as for a poppy, hyper poppy song. I would listen so much to stuff like that. This way it also makes sense, of course. It's like a big journey, but you know, I'm like in my day-to-day life, I'm not often in the mood to listening to a big journey. My feedback is please release it. Absolutely, that's the best feedback. Did you play that? Did you sing that? Whoever Rockta is. Oh, this person knows you. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That sounds it's going to transition into another song. Can you guys spam some? All right. I wanted to say something, but I forgot, I think. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was just very beautiful. I stand by everything that I already said, and I'm going to continue with the next submission then. Thank you very much, Celine. We got amp up this end is what the URL is saying. Then we got ampersand as the name, and then in my chat you called amp dubs 10 amp dubs 10 dubs 10. Anyway, let's see what this is. Sorry, I remembered what I wanted to say. There's a tiny bit too much of this detuning going on between the instruments. I know this is kind of common to make it sound organic. in this genre. High Carves is also doing that sometimes. It's like weighs a little bit too much. A few cents pitched up, or a few cents pitched down on the ukulele or whatever is happening here. Amp dubs G10. Yeah. Gotcha. I definitely expected some dubstep here, and the intro sounds like it's something else.
It's closing
Right.
in again. 'Cause I'm holding
Well, first time singing mixing vocals.
onto my last breath. Rolling out on hallowed ground while I'm unbound, I'm lost and can't be.
So I definitely can already hear you're compressing a lot. Yoni, what's up? You can tell by these volume inconsistencies happening, like sometimes on the guitar, sometimes on the vocal. There's a little bit too much compression either on the master or on the individual two instruments. I can't perfectly tell. So be careful with that. This could still be dubstep. Oh no. What the fuck happened? Is my mic still on? Okay, I think it is. Why does it sound so weird? Check. You guys still hear me? Okay. So just less compression, yes. Be very careful with it. Especially on a chill song like this, you don't need to. What the fuck happened to my mic? Oh my god, it sounds so weird. It's like I screamed into it and then now it's like half muted on my ear. I'm sorry. Yes. I think I hear you. That's great. Thank you. I think at the beginning you for making songs like this you can completely skip like mixing and mastering. At this moment there's just like your voice and a guitar and you don't need to mix much there. Make both elements like fill the whole spectrum. Maybe take a tiny bit out from the mids, from the guitar, so the voice has a little bit more focus and like in space. The thing is the second half of this is way louder. Okay, I see. Yeah, we're gonna see about that.
Onto my last breath.
So how do I address this? So there is a little bit of pitchiness in the singing, but that is completely normal, and I admire you for not like just slamming autotune on it. Like that's something that many people do. Check. Check. There we go. It was my cable. That's why I was sounding weird. To me, but not to you guys. Sorry again. I have a few songs that are like that as well. One that is very different. But so it starts
Doesn't matter what taste I just had.
like very lo-fi and mellow, and then I'm bringing in a dubstep drop. And the waveform here is actually peaking lower. You can't really see it on SoundCloud, unfortunately, as I'm realizing now. But it's peaking lower here because I needed that room in the beginning. Because naturally, dubstep is just very distorted, so you can peaking it lower. Check. I am the person at the bank, by the way, so I can very much hear you, Laser Brew. You can just send the money my way. Don't worry about it. It nails the messy bedroom pop laptop folk vibe. Okay. That's some fair feedback. Oops. I don't know. I just don't like the volume inconsistencies. Maybe that's become a style of its own by now, but I think most people are like feel like a bit that the quality is like missing a bit when they listen to this, like people who don't produce. But everything I say is subjective, of course. Mixing is off and a lot of parts. Okay, I'm very curious about the rest now. I wanted to talk about the pitchiness, and I feel like I'm not a vocal coach, but if you push from your belly a little stronger, like it's actually a muscle, then it becomes easier to hold notes. Like when I'm doing it up here, like, then it's kind of shaky. It's kind of hard to hold a note. But when I'm doing it from below, pushing a little bit more air, then it feels easier for me to control the notes. Maybe that helps a bit. I also don't like the guitar being like fully plucked, but only like singular notes. Like you can do it very softly and just turn it up in the D or W afterwards. I feel like that would go along with the vibe a little bit better. And then it's also a little bit off time, so a little bit too far off the grid to my ears. Like blum blip blum blip blum blip blum blim blum. I would keep it like a little bit more blum blip blum blip blum blip blum blip blum. Yes. Nice. Yeah, so you definitely made a decent job at bringing everything at the same volume, but the little jump in volume is actually not that bad. Celine just answered on the... We both need... It's absolutely fair. No need to justify. I'm just throwing out thoughts here, and you may do with it whatever you want. And so it's not a problem if this part is like at least 2 to 3 decibels louder than the part before. It's also a little bit less dynamic, like you can sidechain stuff to your drums, and you can compress your guitars together, being careful that you don't get like the volume inconsistencies and play around with the attack and release times. And pay attention to that, I would say. I'm hearing a lot of shh, like in that frequency area. I think it's like 2 to 3K. Oh, it's an electric guitar also on top. So yeah, what you're gonna do is you group your, if you're not doing that already, you group your similar instruments, like all the guitars, into one track, and then whenever they have like one area of frequencies in common, you try to duck it dynamically. Of course, it's more cleaner when you don't have to use a compressor, but you can just automate a dip, like in the high mid area, for example, whenever that electric guitar is coming in. If you want that electric guitar to be more focused, then you don't group it, but you dip all the other guitars in that area and let the electric guitar be there. You know, you always got to decide what's in focus. At this point, I feel like there's not really one element that you meant to stick out, and that's why it sounds a little bit muddy to my ears. Nice. Okay, it's definitely the same thing again with mixing. Like there's so much going on that is trying to fight for the focus of the listener. You gotta differentiate between elements that are just as so loud that you can actually hear them and like perceive them, and then elements that are actually fighting for your focus, that are like louder and more present across the whole spectrum, you know? I really like that you did that. Like, that's very uncommon. I feel like the bridge between those two areas was still like a bit crumbly. You had a few glitches here and there. What else could you do? Like more electronic risers, more effects, like stuff that you can put on the whole master that's putting this all into one sausage that is then relieved. That's something I could suggest. And otherwise, just I think it's mainly the mixing. Oh, and also one thing I noticed is the vocal being like very sped up. Maybe that was an artistic choice, but that sounded a little bit odd to me. And usually vocals are the one thing that listeners want to focus on. In hyperpop and electronic songs, it's sometimes a little bit different, but I want to focus on the vocal here. That's doing like the that's a cool melody. I want to follow along with that. I feel like the kick doesn't fit. The kick is like super fat for like stompy dubstep, and this is more like future rhythmy. So I would pick something more punctual or something more sharks like, I guess. Of course. So first of all, shout out to you for having a song that goes from this to this. That's beautiful. I love that. And oh yeah, I should speed up a bit. I'm sorry. That's fire, by the way. Yeah. I'm very slow today. I haven't done this in a long time. I feel like the dubstep also wasn't perfectly mixed. If you want that crunchiness, you only need to lower to distort your high end. You don't have to distort everything together. I feel like that's happening a little bit too much here. So the mids are like very muddy. I'm hearing a lot of noise there from the distortion. And also you can hear whenever the bass is leaving, then everything else becomes louder. Like the mids and like the sides in specific are like pushed. That's because there's probably 2,000 hours per song. No, I'm sorry for the people who are waiting. I'm going to try to speed up a bit. Yeah, be careful with compression and limiting. I think in dubstep especially, you don't need any of that. You just need clipping and like maybe saturation here and there, or like limiters that are invisible, basically. And one final suggestion I had was your rhythmic meter is like very interesting. I love that, but sometimes it becomes a bit hard to follow. What you can do is add a tiny element that is like stupidly simple. So like just going on in the background of that. Maybe that destroys the flow that you have in mind. So maybe you can come up with anything else. But usually what I go for is a very simple hi-hat loop that is not in the forefront of the mixdown, but it helps you keep track of the rhythm and makes it even feel cooler to focus on the offbeats where you're putting your kick drums. Yeah, that's what I would do. Anyway, thank you so much for sending that. I wish you very, very good luck with figuring out the mixdown for that. And let's continue with Dead Zone. I'll be announcing who will be next on each song, so you can prepare a tiny bit. I think it is good to have the length of feedback you do. Thank you. All right. I'll try to stick in the middle because I also want to get everyone, though. I mean, we got 8 more people. We're good in time, I guess. After that will be Lumi. And here we have a New Amsterdam flip from 3 people. All right, that lifts up the expectations a bit. Really like the song. Let's see what you got. All right. Very loud. Oh my god, 7 minutes. What did you do? I don't like what this lead is doing here. It's like very static. It feels like very inhuman. I mean, it's an electronic lead, obviously, but no one would play an instrument like that. I would play it like you know, put some slide notes in there, some shorter ones, some with bigger velocity, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say this is the element of focus here, so it definitely deserves a tiny bit more attention. Hey, we won. Oh, so there's public. All right, I'm going to keep my feedback a little bit shorter then, because it's already finished, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, it's a cover. What happened with the snare here? Doop, 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 doop. Doop, doop, doop. This tiny kick drum has way too much sidechain to my ears. Oh damn, it's a personal pet peeve of mine, but I'm really not a fan of like pitching up your voice an octave and layering it with the normal voice. It sounds... I never liked how that sounded. It's like introduced like 10 years ago or something. Everybody was doing it. I don't get it, but you do you, obviously. I can already tell there went a lot of love into this, and I have much appreciation for that. Whoever's singing, they're like always on the edge of being a little bit too low or too flat, as we say. And they're correcting for that with autotune, but you can tell on notes like this, where it's like briefly going in the note below. Down in New Amsterdam. Damn. Oh, I'm missing the original chord here. All right. Let's see where this goes. What is it saying? Nothing? Nothing. Reminds me of the Virtual Ride and Modestep song. All right. I'm missing the chord movement. I'm gonna be honest. Hashtag color base. Oh, okay. That is a big switch. I feel like the rest of the song didn't go along with that. Like nothing introduced the color base. I'm hating so much. I'm so sorry. It's a cool and creative flip. Just not for me in multiple ways. Yeah, YouTube is okay. SoundCloud would be preferred, but just looks a bit ugly on my setup. I don't know, I feel like with all this layering, you're kind of covering up what the main vocal is meant to be, which is like a relatable human being, you know? I know that this feels like an easy way to get a little bit more out of a recording, especially when you're the person who did it, then you want to improve it. But I feel like just the voice with a little bit of delay and reverb would perfectly do it. And there's too much shh here. A lot. Oh. Chords are getting a bit lost here in the color bass parts. Why is this the part I enjoy the most? It became so straightforward for a second and not trying. Oh, I really like that as well. And also, I was like a person like that when I started making music. I wanted to bring all genres into one song. Is not necessarily what this is doing. I mean, with the color bass switch up, I guess. But I was trying to key changes. I was trying to put everything, and then I would have the perfect remix that features all my skills, and that would make me win remix competitions, except those were under a different alias, and they very much did not start my remix competition winning streak. It was when I realized I needed to simplify stuff and focus on one song, which is doing like one or two main ideas that are really recognizable, and then build around that, build up to those ideas. And he once was there. Oh, I guess. Thanks for the affirmation. And like one or two main themes that are recognizable, and build a song around that. I would think that would make the better flip. And since Fox Stevenson already has some very recognizable vocals, I would also, when you cover it, make the vocals and the melody of that, and then the melody of the drop. Those are already your two themes. If you pick a different theme for the drop, that makes sense to me. But if I were to do like a collab flip like that, I would very much be a control freak that makes sure that we always use those few rhythmical meters and melodies, so it doesn't become too many different ideas when none end up being really, really recognizable. I want to see where this goes briefly, but then I'm going to continue with the next song. I feel like I've hated enough on this song. Quote unquote hate. Nothing. Still don't know if it's saying nothing. Oh, also going slower. This chord, what's happening here? This chord is like, it sounds like slamming your hand onto the piano a bit. It's not a straight chord. This is the main part of the drop. It should be in your face. I'm going to play a simple triad now. And I mean, it's a feedback stream, to be fair. They've sent it here for that purpose, so I'm just still sorry. Boop, 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 boop. Some notes don't feel right in there. That's all I'm gonna say. Something is going on in the high end that I'm not too fond of as well. It's like, it sounds a little bit like this. A stupid question. I'm new to Parisoto community. It is perfectly normal like that. I can quickly check if I got your link dash the reel. Yeah, I got you. It's normal that it disappears. That's for privacy reasons. And with that said, I'm just going to continue with the next submission with it, which is by Desks, a very good friend of mine. Let's say it like that. And just a great artist of her time. Clap on the downbeat always confusing me, but it was okay this time.
I see you made another perfect song. How good for you.
Vocals louder
Last time I checked, you said nothing about my tune has it for me.
and more. Did you high pass the vocals on like right the fundamental? If you did, why would you do that? Like the fundamental is like, "Arr!" I want to hear that. Oh my god, my camera is so bright. Let me check that really quick. Something is not right here. Can I reset that? I can't. Oh, I can do that. Maybe like this a bit. I don't know. Okay. Also, my mic might randomly pop out. I've realized that happened in the recordings a bit. So let me know in case that is happening right now. It didn't disappear for me. Yeah, that's because you're still in the chat. Discord is weird with that. Zef Parisoto. Where was I?
Said nothing about my tune
I want to pay attention to the lyrics, sorry.
I see you made another perfect song. How good for you. Last time I checked, you said nothing about my tune has it for me. Everything you post has people going nuts. I gotta prove myself, but I need the love I see you get, or I feel like I'm a total waste of a joke.
Real, very much feel that. I know it's probably meant to be like half ironic, but obviously sometimes it feels like that or felt. I mean, I'm kind of not seeking the validation in online communities for my music at this moment because I'm holding back because I'm composing an album, but we've been there, you know?
I feel like I'm a total waste of a joke.
Yeah, I definitely want your vocals more up front. You got amazing vocals at this point, and they could be multi-band compressed and have more fundamental. Glitchy piano, we love it. Oh. How does this relate to this? So you got a friend who's like cooking music and everybody's has respect for them on Discord, and you want to also get that admiration or something like that. I mean, everybody wants a little bit of attention from other human beings in some way. You probably want me gone, but I'm stuck with you. Why are you stuck with them? That doesn't make sense to me. Probably want me gone. Classic Portal 2 song. Maybe that's just meant to be a reference and not to be thought so much about. Okay. So, see, when there's words articulated, I don't even know if this is you singing with heavy effects and tuning or it's me and me. All right. That confuses me even more. But I don't need to understand your lyrics completely. Don't think, feel. Yeah, I guess. What did I mean to say? Yeah, I want to sing along to this, but the way the notes are jumping around is like very unnatural. And I feel like that's perfectly intentional. So it may not be valid criticism, but that's what I feel like. Feel, not think, you know. Oh, what the hell? I love that you're repeating stuff. Like I'm a big fan of the A B A C A B A D kind of repetition scheme, and it always works. It always works. Are you low-key trying to be Gladys? It kind of feels like that. You're kind of nailing it. But nada. Nada. I'm struggling to get up there. Nada. Nada. That's hard. But yeah, you dip down there a little bit too much. How dare you be human and make mistakes? I feel like that this vocal thing had a little bit too much S. It's like whistling almost. Can you hear it? It's like below the hi-hats. I feel like the vocals should be present in all the high-end areas. Well, debatable. Oh, that was related to being Gladys. Oh, sorry, I want to listen. Ah! Also, I hope you know that you're enough. You're great the way you are. No, I feel that a lot currently. This is gonna be the best part of your song. I feel it so much. Aww. Once again, once again. Oh, yes! Oh my god, I'm so sorry for screaming over that drop. Ah, it's so nice! Yes! Hold me down. Holy shit. What are you doing? Okay. 2 fake outs or pre-drops. I'm thinking about whether I feel like that, but I do feel like this psytrance part was a tiny bit underwhelming in energy compared to what you had before. Like the dubstep was all out. It wasn't tear out, but it was very heavy, very distorted, very spectrum filling. And now you're doing psytrance, which is kind of a chill and taking drugs and dancing along to a simple rhythm kind of genre. You push it a bit with compression and distortion and stuff, but I feel like you could push it even more so it goes along to... Felt a bit underwhelming. Yeah. You can do like Space Laces kind of psytrance. I don't know if he has a song that would be categorizable as that, but if he had, then that's what I would do. Or like techno, like completely loud and overboard. If you really want the genre change, like it's very drastic, I gotta say. Like your dubstep part was a perfect peak in my eyes. and then you started with this huge build up, while I was still like, I was good staying in the dubstep realm for a little longer, is how I'd say. Yeah, you could just make that second half dubstep and nobody would mind. Everybody would enjoy, honestly, I'd say. That checks out. That's all right. The composition is absolutely amazing, though. Like, it all fits together so nicely. You're bringing in elements and bringing them back later. You have call and response. That is perfect. A little bit empty here. I still can't predict the melody. It feels so, because it's so like jumping around. Next up is you. Shout out I Wish. Beautiful plugin. Sometimes it continues playing a track, sometimes it doesn't. I don't get it. Somebody tell me what is going on with SoundCloud. After Creetoil, we got who is that? These guys. Thank you so much for sending Lumi. I'm happy that you're here. Please finish and release. You're gonna do that anyway, but I liked it a lot. It's gonna be so aura, alright? Oh, okay, very white and bright. But it wasn't public. Like, it's private. But the link was public, I guess? I don't get it. Confused. Really chasing that Mario Kart energy. But I would definitely reference a original Mario Kart track there and adjust the spectrum a bit. I feel like it's very, very bright. And yeah, could have a little bit more bass. This still feels like an intro. Like, I'm not meant to focus on anything. I really like the fullness of the composition. Like, there's so many elements and they're fitting together really nicely. But I'm kind of already missing a focus element here, is what I'm trying to say. Oh. Yeah. A little bit too much. Really enjoyed so far. Oh. I don't know if you want to sacrifice the downbeat for so much like that. I was so underwhelmed when the first downbeat hit, and then I was like, oh, there's basses afterwards that completely blow over it, you know? What is that? Like, you could do, you don't have to do that fake out stuff. You could do like a strong bass and keep some space. Woo! Instead of playing the instruments again from before that were already there before the whole time, you know, compositionally. Your choice, obviously. Super sick. And still like super bright. Nice. Very cool sound design. I love that. I love that. Nice. Love the vocal sample. So your track could be so much more cooler. It is already very cool because it's combining these two worlds in a very cohesive way. And the build-up was cool, the sound design is cool, it's so much cool stuff about it. But it could be so much cooler if it had a chord progression. It is sticking on this root note for such a long time throughout the track. It got some little twists with the bass note here, if I'm not mistaken, but it's staying on the da the whole time. And the basses are as well. Imagine it was like Fox Stevenson New Amsterdam. We were talking about that earlier. They took out the chord progression, but if it still had that you know, just the movement in the bass and like the emotion there. You can do that even with tarot basses like that, or Bridum or whatever it's called. You got these two notes with the major and then the minor afterwards, but the piano was it in here? Okay, I'm tripping. Never mind. Or maybe it was the bass. I'm so sorry. I need to check one more time. Yeah, the bass is playing some interesting notes. It's not like confusing the major and minor with each other, as I thought initially, but the bass has some. You know, you could have one melody that is stretched and repeated all across these sections. You're like introducing section over section, new stuff like that. And it's cool stuff, but I'm not going to remember any of it. If you repeat it more, then I would be like, oh, this tune with that melody that sounded so Mario Karty and then headed straight into rhythm or tarot or something. That's how I would feel. But I'm all for creative freedom, obviously. So if that's your vibe, you're going to have a narrower audience, but maybe they're going to absolutely adore your stuff in exchange. I love your build. It's so nice. Yeah, I just really want that downbeat to already hit with something. It doesn't have to fully unleash the energy, but I really want that. You're sucking everything in, and then you already have the pre-drop with the space. So after that, why another fake out? It doesn't need to be. Was inspired by Japanese songs. Yeah, I'm decently familiar, I'd say. They have a lot going on. I don't know. I feel like maybe they still have a bit more recognizability. I feel like your general vibe fits that very much, but what's the difference is that they have like one instrument that's more in focus and that's playing a melody consistently, or many melodies, but like more elements of focus in the non-drop parts. That vocal sample is so cool, and how you built it in. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Yeah, absolutely, it does. Okay, weird ending. Thank you very much for sending that. That was very cool. I mean, the only song that decently does, that kind of does this, is Accelerate by Skybreak and Temanite. Adore that song. But you're also doing that really well. This kind of style combination. So cheers. Thank you for sending. I'm going to continue with this work from Dr. Molo and Relati. And after that, we got our YouTube submission from Spaceman. From, oh my god, you can see my recommendations there. How do I... That wasn't intentional. Let's do it like that. But still, beforehand, Sweet Trip Pro Love Ed. Okay, don't know what's going on there in the title. I see a big room of dynamics here. This is some beautiful piano processing and vibe. Adore it. Relati. I kind of dislike the high end from those stabs. Is there some weird air can noise on top of it? Or is it SoundCloud? Alright. Oh, it's very nice, but there's this tiny high-end transient at the beginning of the stabs that is throwing me off because it's quite loud. Yeah. It's also like a little bit inconsistent in volume, like sometimes it's and sometimes it's like, is that a hi-hat or is it from the processing? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is what happens in a feedback stream. It's not that long, so I can play it. That singular hi-hat there. What was that? That was very different in spectrum compared to everything else. Sorry to kill the vibe. The singular hi-hat or the at the beginning? I mean, you can keep it there. I would just make it stick out. It's a tiny bit less. Very interesting. Nice. Yeah, gotcha. Sometimes it's turning quieter. Like there. Yeah, tiny bit of like volume inconsistencies there, but I couldn't perfectly pin it down. For my taste, this was a tiny bit too distorted. I don't want to say it. I love distortion, but it was like the distortion was coming from such a low bass that it was like very fluttery, and I was missing a tiny bit more of that chord presence and the melody being more in the foreground. I mean, it's a fair balance. I get that. It's perfectly subjective, so, but that's what I'm feeling anyway. So now let's jump into Spaceman's submission, which is Power of Suggestion. Now, what might that be about? Hello. All right. Very interesting chords. I didn't mean to say it, Laser Blue. You know, usually I get bored by music that only consists of these instruments, like a bass guitar, an electric guitar, and a drum set. But this has very much interesting aspects to it. Yeah, I feel like the drums sound a bit too programmed, because like if they're playing consistent like kicks after one another, for example, then it feels a little too inhuman. But it's very cool. I'm missing low end, I have to say, from a mixdown perspective. It's like very guitar focused, and the drums are quite thin, if I can say that. Yeah, this also looks very cool. Okay, I'm too low IQ to understand these progressions. Nice. Make those vocals louder. Guitars are louder than the vocals? We don't allow that in this household. I also want a little more presence on the vocals. Like they are very much lacking the very high frequencies. I know it's very uncommon in this kind of context, but it's sung very well. If that's also you, then cheers to you. Oh yeah, you said that. Very good screaming. Okay, I'm desperately longing for some repetition here. I'm sorry I interrupted you on that high note. But it's been going 2 minutes, but I'm very much missing something that I've already heard. Maybe it was there, but I was not be able to pay attention to it because there was so much going on. But yeah, I'm very pop brained, I guess. Not like mainstream pop, but like hyper pop, where there's like so many tiny elements, but every now and then there's something repeating and something is a reference to something else, you know? Wow. There's a lot of repetition. Okay. Then that's me, not being familiar with the genre, I guess. Laser Blue being real? Can't say I disagree. Now are you going with a different time signature or very different rhythm? That's the kind of new introductions that I'm talking about, like very much new stuff. Yeah, the kicks are very, very inorganic at this point because they're like tick 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 tick. When you program stuff like that, then make sure that you can, with format shifting or some EQing, some pitching around, some randomization, you can even put some vibrato on kicks if you just for that little human inconsistency if you want that. Is this like math rock? Yeah, that's also something I'm wondering if this falls under the category already. Yeah, I'm a fan of more simple music. It's kind of ironic because in the beginning I said I'm happy that this isn't so simple and boring, but that's what would keep me from returning to this song, because there's too much going on for my brain compositionally. G, you're good. I hope your MacBook can take it, but you got time. Oh, look, it's you. There's one thing I can say about the mixdown. I think I'm not going to listen through the whole thing because I don't have any more feedback to this and it's not quite in my realm of genre. But the bass is like very mono, very far in the back. I'm missing the bass's presence, especially in the sub-region. The guitars are like very present in the mids in comparison. Like they're completely left, right. I assume you got 2 or 3 takes, and 2 of them are like panned completely to the opposite sides, and that is a cool thing. I'm not saying your bass should be stereo, but to me it is. You're gonna listen to the solo that's about to start. Gonna do that, okay? I would like the guitars to be a little bit more present in the mids as well, in the middle from the stereo spectrum. My bad. And a little less high mids across the frequency spectrum. That is a very nice synth in the background. Sorry, I had to interrupt for that. Is this a solo? I can't even recognize it. But I'm just noticing the impressiveness of this being played in real life. Like, that's very cool. Generally couldn't really tell the difference to what was going on before with the guitars. Yeah, it's a very cool vibe. It's very unique. But it could have more repetition. I'm gonna die on this hill. Yeah. What Laser Blue says. I'm very sorry to interrupt your song. It's just relatively long, and I want to spend the time wisely on the stream. And I didn't have any more feedback to add to that. But very much thank you for sending that. Thank you for coming here. I appreciate you. And if this is... Oh, it's already out. So good luck for your album then. Let's continue with Laser Blue, a rhythm prodigy. Yeah. I'm so ready for this. Let's see at the ending, Krito. It's a little unlikely. I'm sorry, this is not good. Oh, sorry, I gotta rewind that bitch. What the fuck? Your build into pre-drop, again, perfect. Like, I'm bored of so many pre-drops nowadays, and this was the perfect... It resets my brain. It presses some buttons that have not been pressed before in that order before. It's a little fluttery here, I gotta admit. Like, we're already in the intro and you're like clipping and fluttering and bringing in the noise from the distortion so harshly, but it is a dubstep song. Oh, so much high end here. Like, take it down a tiny bit, just from your perspective. Yeah, just a little bit, you know, a little bit. Oh. Okay, so this song is going to be perfect, except for it's distorting a little bit too much. You're losing a little bit of the clarity of your beautiful sound design. I'm going to say that. I really like how it's all blending together. I like the composition. I like the sound design. I like the how you're like doing call and response and stuff like that. I like that you have ear candy like here and there, but I can still focus on the main bases, and all like that is really nice. But either it's the clipper on the master or like on the individual elements, I can very audibly hear. Have you ever heard unaudibly? I can very much hear like every sound being clipped so hard that it has like it produces a lot of noise, and there's a lot of harmonics coming out of that, and it feels like so raw. I know that's part of your style. I don't want to criticize it too much, but you know, you could have like a super clean version of that. Like just for an experiment, you could strip down all the clipping that is at the end of your processing chains, and then try to do it with multi-band compression, or like nowadays I always do NASCO's, what is it called? It's in plug data. It's like the whole curve thingy, and you got a smoothing. And Basti would know what it's called. Hold on, I'm gonna quickly check that. I'm just too curious. N-Spec Comp Lite 2 is what I have. And if you use that to, yeah, it's not just the high end. You know, I mean, yes, you can put it like that on the whole master, and you're good. Maybe it's even arguable that N-Spec Comp Lite, I'm gonna type it out. N-Spec Comp Lite 2. I think you N-Spec. I inspect your tune. Oh God, what even is this? What am I looking at? Yeah, less distortion. Try it out. You can even if you want to get rid of some of the noise after your whole chain. God damn it, this fly, the whole stream. You can apply a spectral gate. I would recommend the gate from. You use Spectral Compressor by Robert van der Helm, and use that and invert the signal so you only get what the compressor is taking away. And if you have it, that's perfect. I use it all the time, and on a higher is it called window size? No, like the FFT size is what it's called, I think. Let me take a look. No, it's the window size. Like anything above 4096 is going to get you super clean results. Sometimes it also gives you a little sweep, inward sweep to the sound. Like it's basically pre-ringing. You can cut that if you want, obviously. But if your sound is a little too noisy and you don't want to take it out of your chain for some reason, or you can't, then I highly recommend using that compressor as a spectral gate. And yeah, you need to set it up in Patcher. You're still on FL Studio, right? If you shoot me a DM on Discord, I can send you the Patcher for using that as a spectral gate. All right, goddamn it, this fly. It's killing me. Or I'm killing it, you know. All right, let's jump in. Yeah, that's the smeariness, what I was talking about. It makes sense that you don't like it. I like it. But you can still use it to get rid of some noise from the processing. Bye-bye. Yeah, high-end isn't even that bad, honestly. Just do some referencing, please. Nice. So good. Oh yeah, Devath is a good reference. And they definitely have less distortion going on. Oh, was it? I'm curious. This one? Alright, we gotta check that one out. I just love Laser Blue. Oh, I remember that, I think. Yeah, you're good. Super unique. Super recognizable, this stuff. Oh. What does this person mean? AU5 is that you? That sounds nothing like AU5. Yeah, I think the song is so perfect because of everything you fixed, because of my feedback, obviously. I feel like the spectrum is perfect, and this is like right on the verge of not being too distorted. So you could just reference that song for the other song, if you will, and that would be perfect. I adore this one. Wow, I need to say this right now. Is it on streaming services? Please tell me it is. Molten Liquid. Wow, this is some really entertaining. It is not. How dare you? Where can I? Are they not? Why are they not posting this on streaming services? Whoa, what is this? Oh, it's just a small label. Okay, never mind. It should be. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm gonna look it up later. Let me close all the other tabs. Oop. Sometimes my monitor just goes black for 3 seconds. Let's jump back. Sorry. Mythicube, can you upload your song if you're still here somewhere? Because on Discord I can't. I mean, I can try and stream it. Hold on. Window. Discord. There we go. That's beautiful. All right. Let's see if this is audible. It's not even audible. Why does Discord not have that? Yes, that would be nice. I'm gonna skip you for now then, and feel free to send your link afterwards. And let me get rid of this, because unfortunately Discord doesn't stream audio directly, or I was too stupid to set it up. In any case, we're going to continue with X Gravity. And after that, we got Toshli, which is new on my server. I want to stream for about like 15 minutes more. Oh dear, and we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Okay, I'm going to close the queue. We're going to go over those 5 people. I think I can do that. And that's going to be it for today. Then. Unless someone donates. Okay. I'll try to keep it short. Sorry for bad English. There's nothing.
All the things
You're good.
I could have done made me realize what I want.
YouTube would be fine as well.
Your morning crow
Make a tube.
take me to my dream world.
I really like it. I like the mix down. What I would do differently is
Take me to my dream world.
take out the bass here. Make it so that it goes along with the color stab. So it's like it's like, so I'm like held in the air. Right now it's like a weird transition from before. And it also goes into the drop very fast, but I assume that's because it's work in progress. But it sounds very beautiful sonically.
Take me to my dream world.
Yeah. You know? Keep it a little bit in the air and then release the energy. Beautiful. Got the crunch method going. Very nice.
Take me to my dream world. All the things I could have done made me realize what I want. Wake up to your morning crow and take me to my dream world.
Sometimes with autotune or similar tuning software, it happens that you're like in between two notes and then it like glitches up and down really fast. I really dislike when that happens.
And take me to my
Take me to
my dream
You can hear it?
world.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I would just space this out more so there's an actual build and stuff like generic compositional structure, you know? But this is fucking beautiful. I also like your vocals. It fits the style very well. And that's all I have to say about this one. Yeah, with vocals, I don't know. Maybe other people don't perceive it as much as I do, but to me this sometimes sticks out as inhuman, you know? Because like jumping between the notes as like a robot. All right, let's go with Toshli. I like how you're bringing in a theme here. That's recognizable. Sick. Before we head into the drop, I had a feeling that this it's again the notes being too similar in, how do I say this, in so like when I would sing this, I would do da 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 da, like a little bit of vibrato at the end, a little bit sliding in the beginning, some notes being held the full time and some being a little bit shorter. And you could do that with this lead as well to make it more humane, I guess, and more interesting. Very sick. I'm feeling the energy. Okay. I see where we can go from here. So you're doing everything very nicely, but on the pre-drop, you're not taking out enough, I'd say. You got the coming in, that's teasing like the drop stuff, But in the very pre-drop moment, I think there needs to be just one element or two, one that is in focus and everything else is like almost quiet. So the drop really feels like a release of energy. Your energy curve is like going like this and then going down a bit and then going up again by the drop. That makes it feel like there's not really a release there. You can have also more rises on the build-up, like towards the ends, and then they're like sucked away right at the moment. I like it, but it feels weak, and I'm trying to find out why. I feel like part of the reason is that on the kick drum there's not a bass. Like on the kick drum you're always leaving out the main colory synth bass sound, and I feel like it could feel stronger if you had like something that is strongly sidechained but very short, and there's like instead of just leaving that blank, that space. Not digging the sound design too much. I can't really say why. It has a weird formant to it. Maybe you can try around with distortion a bit more, just generally. There was a time when Isotope offered their plugin Trash 2 for free. I don't know if that's the case or if you can still get it, but if you can, then please try to, because it has a bunch of weird distortion algorithms. You can also use a wave shaper and draw some very weird curves, that'll also get you like some crunchiness. Like the stuff that Laser Blue sometimes goes overboard with, I would give you a little bit more, because you're like a little tame and a little too dynamic. Make your drop feel really upfront using multiband compression, a little bit of saturation or distortion, and more of that docking feeling on the drums. Currently, if there's some sidechaining, it's like very subtle. It's like only mixing sidechaining. But this kind of dubstep is very much characterized for its compressedness and like docking on the drums, I'd say. Yeah, I think you can just try to go overboard in your DAW, like literally try to break it, try to put some way too much distortion on the master, and see if you can find some things that you like in that going overboard, and then tame it back a bit. Yeah, I felt the same at the beginning when I sent people my music for feedback. I remember that feeling. Just nothing to be scared of. You can't lose anything. I'm gonna be kind. Blow up your speakers, yeah. Yeah, it's all like staying the same in energy throughout the whole build and pre-drop. Like compositionally, it's a very nice build-up, but again, this sounds like the part before. It's just a different synth, I need some more filling the spectrum. Okay, basically what I said before on the other build. But it's nice, you're switching it up a bit. And the sound design is interesting, it just doesn't punch through really. Or you can upload it in private or like unlisted on YouTube. Don't bother finding an image. It's just going to be for this feedback stream. You can take it out afterwards directly. Yeah, humanize these melodies a tiny bit. Some pre-shifted notes like da, 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 stuff like that. Yeah, it was very vibey. You sure know what you're doing with your composition. In general, my advice would be you can be a little less tame and go nuts a bit more, and fuck the rules a bit more. You know. Hope that helped. Thanks for sending. Next up, we got Dash the Real, who is a little bit scared of about my feedback, but I'm telling you, you don't have to be. Oh, Moonboy, he's still doing stuff. Well, he's back, right? I don't follow him. Ooh, nice. Hell yeah.
Today's hit music. Real variety for your workday.
Nice. Okay, that's very raw. Okay, the Reese fits. It's very bit crushy. Okay, so this part before it is a little louder than when it drops here into the beat, and it should be the other way around, I feel like. Is it just me, or is the vocal like slightly flat? Du, 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 du. That was like too much, but you get what I mean. I feel like this 808 has... Check. Okay, my mic is still fine. I just want to see if my headphones are alright. But this 808 is actually lacking bass a bit. Like the fundamental, the sub of it doesn't come through as much. Your first mixing ever? Only to learn from here. Yeah, there's like a bit crusher on everything, or the vocals. I can't really tell. I'm just hearing this high and ringiness all across this part, which doesn't feel like it's meant to be there. Nice. So there's this high-end fluttery thing is sticking out a little bit much. Try to look at your spectrum and like try to keep it on the same, within the realm of within some boundaries here, you know. The sub missing hole, I have another one. It's not posted. Okay. And then nothing after that feels like a little bit anticlimactic for the impact, you know. It should be like oops. What happened to the vocal here? Is that the stem they gave you? Because it feels like Nice. I really enjoy that. That's a cool idea for a drop. I would filter those ARPs and also have them be quieter in general in the build, because they're like a main element in the drop. If they're like at their full potential already in the build, then the drop is kind of lacking something new. Yeah, those distorted vocal parts can be a little less in your face. I feel like they're meant to be a nice background addition. So way more reverb and filter them after the distortion is what I do. So the fundamental isn't as strong, and maybe, yeah, just generally a little bit more radio-y is what I do. Because right now it feels like somebody is actually actively holding his mouth into a mic and like I just wanted to do that. It's meant to be like a producer edition in the background. Distortion is just way too funny, man. I'm so sorry to your ears. Is there... I feel like there's some kind of compression. It sounds a little bit MP3-y at some parts. Like with this ARP coming in, I feel like sometimes it's like when AI is trying to restore some information that is lost in noise. That's what it sounds like to me sometimes. It's the same with the vocals, like it's like not very clear. But I don't know if that's your fault or what happened there. I wouldn't add that. This feels like a very new addition to, and I'm assuming there's going to be some more new things, very new things. And this late into the song, I would only do like slight switch ups. If I can replicate AI, we are saved. You know, let's see. Okay, this is very filtered and phasery and resonant. Okay. Yeah, the vocal is like 1 or 2 octaves above the fundamental. It has like a strong peak. That's what makes it feel so weird to me. Oh wait, there's also this ping snare that is... Maybe that's what I heard. Yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah, the pre-drop vocal doesn't really fit because it's not slowing down. It's a cool idea to insert something there for a switch up, but sometimes it's hard to find a good pre-drop vocal. You can do something else if you're not confident with a pre-drop vocal, because I feel like it doesn't really fit. And the kick feels like a trap kick, you know? I'm missing that deep... you don't need to be sad about it. I'm just saying things that you probably already know. Oh, I see. For that, it even sounds pretty good. Bye bye, Laser Blue. Thank you for sticking around for so long. It's really nice of you. Love ya. Hey, DM8, how long have you been here? For how early this is, the composition is really well done. It's like really well put together. I can give you that. All right. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing good. Thank you, Dash the Real. There wasn't so much to be scared about, honestly. I hope my feedback helped you. And now we got 3 more. Oh, with DM8 as the last position. That makes sense. So spicy G and DM8, and then we're going to call it for today. Thanks for coming. Good rhythm kick. Turkey dick, okay. Scared about the pre-drop line or whatever is going to happen there. Very rhythmy. Doing that very well. Okay. Oh! See, I really like that you're doing this with the chord progression. I feel like you could even go a little bit more like dum 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 dum, you know? This second chord doesn't really fit. Da 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 da. It should be da 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 da. Like the only thing that's suggesting me that there is a chord being played is the sub going down this stair what is it called, staircase yeah, staircase of bass notes. The rhythm sounds are basically just atonal all the way to me, and I wish they would accompany the bass notes a tiny bit more with some tonality there, but the sounds are really cool in and of themselves, and the mix is cool. It's very characteristic for the genre, I'd say. It is a crazy name, but we live in crazy times. I was missing a bit of variety from the second drop. I guess it's playing the sound a little bit more often. But that's about it. Yeah, it sounds very fun. I prefer the first drop. The second one feels a little bit more random by when the sounds are playing. Alright. Yeah, I'd focus a bit more on the chords being a tad more recognizable throughout the drops. Have the variety in the second drop be something else than playing the sound more. Some other sound design maybe. And yeah. Otherwise, that's a really cool song. Thank you for sending. Hope this helped. Somebody sent me a second submission, but I'm tired, unfortunately, and so I don't want to do that for today, unfortunately. Nita, how's your profile progressing? Some reposts, okay, some reposts. I see. Wait, there's something here. Okay, you remixed some stuff. Okay. All right, what are we getting into here? Alright.
子供たちの際が統合された時に
Oh,
どれほ
okay.
どのエネルギーが動いたのか。もういや
I didn't know you were working on an album. Oh my god. Exciting. Or I forgot.
私はヒッツを二度と復元できない
Okay. Nice. Okay. That shit is very empty. Oh, I love that. These drums, yes. This brass is a bit old, yeah. I mean, that's the point, I guess. I feel like you could have put the slightest ambience or something accompanying the kick drum here. Because all across the song it feels like we're in this huge room and space, and that disappears when there's only the kick drum. Then suddenly I feel like I'm sitting in my room and listening to FL Studio that is just replaying the kick drum, you know? And I can put myself back into the room. Oh, I see why this is the way, but I have to rationally think about it. And if you just put the slightest ambient, something that has reverb, something far in the back here, something atonal I would do, then that would not happen. Okay, this is very high passed. I assume it's coming in. Like the lead. Now I get it. It fits. Okay. Yes. Oh, sick. That feels like a very jungle transition. I love jungle, I think. I love the idea of jungle. Very cool song. I'm stoked about what you're doing here. It's very storytelling like. Alright, I'm very much getting tired. But that is the perfect thing to match with having one last song, which is by DM8 and Roar meant to be. Okay. Thanks for sending, G. Is this vocal popular? Oh yes. Oh, nice. I feel like it's good, but I'm missing something unique. If like this, I feel like the style has been done too many times. It's stompy, it's heavy. I like it. It's danceable, that's for sure. It feels a tiny bit empty. Like again, some backing atmosphere, something in the back. Also in the build-up. The build-up was very like the it was very minimalistic, if you will. Like these two small risers and then only the drums doing their stuff. The bass could also be filtered before it's playing in the drop, or have some cool effects at least before it's playing at its full potential. Yeah, otherwise this is cool, but it doesn't catch me really because feel like I've heard it already. That's cool. I haven't heard that so much. Like, that's cool. Yeah, I agree. Not necessarily this particular vocal, but it's a little similar in style. This is the last submission, unfortunately. Compositionally, I feel like you're on the tonic a little bit too much. It could be going to after this, or like any note, but not returning to the tonic already. It's like resolving it too early to my ears, to my taste. It's very formulaic in some way. I'm not perfectly feeling the bass. It has like this tinny frequency on top that's like very distorted, and it's like, and then you're bringing in tech house elements that are from a part of the genre that is usually very much not so distorted. I don't know. Maybe I'm not the right person to ask about house. So sonically, this synth stack and this choir yeah, those two things were my favorite parts about the song, I'd say. Oh no, this part. That's what I forgot. This could be the drops. That's me personally. I'm sorry, I'm also very tired. Maybe I'm not giving the best feedback. I feel like the mix down was good. I liked it. And yeah, I mean, it's work in progress. So for that, it sounds really well produced already. And I want to thank you for sticking around and waiting for so long and sending your tune. And to everybody who's still here, thank you so much. That was very nice. I hope you're having a great time in your life right now. I hope you have a nice Sunday tomorrow at least. And then see you next time. See you on the next stream. All right, that's it for me. Bye bye.